Today, we delve into a gripping legal battle that began with enthusiasm for cutting-edge surgery and ended in acrimony and incarceration. Amputee Fred Hernandez spent 16 months in jail after disgraced surgeon Munjed Al Muderis pursued multiple lawsuits against his former patient-turned-business partner. What started with a series of Facebook posts alleging the doctor was involved in a major cover-up ended with Hernandez serving an indefinite sentence in a U.S. prison in Nevada for contempt of court. There, he said, he was manhandled by guards, denied access to treatment for severe nerve pain, and was injured after he fell while shackled without appropriate disability support. The medical treatment in there was severely lacking on just about every level, Hernandez stated, adding, "I spent a good 15 months in a wheelchair, which has caused me to start from scratch for my walking." The lawsuits filed by Al Muderis against Hernandez was sparked by social media posts from Hernandez in 2018, warning patients about Al Muderis' unethical conduct. Hernandez also raised awareness of other surgeons who perform osseointegration, a procedure involving inserting a titanium rod into an amputee's residual bone to attach a prosthetic limb. Hernandez's claims were vindicated this month in a devastating defamation case judgment in the Federal Court of Australia, which lashed Al Muderis over his negligent treatment of patients. But by that point, Hernandez had already paid a heavy price for his criticisms of Al Muderis going back to 2018. Over the years, I became aware of situations that I frankly did not agree with, unethical on some levels and downright wrong on others, Hernandez posted on December 20th, 2018. He continued, "This is not the forum to air anyone's dirty laundry in detail, but what the patient population and general public sees is not what actually goes on. I smell a major cover-up." This spurred years of litigation, leaving Hernandez broke, unemployed, and struggling to piece his life back together as Al Muderis still blocks his ability to work in osseointegration. Despite the heavy toll, Hernandez has no regrets, stating, "I literally lost everything. Patients had a right to know." He added, "Given my role in building this fake persona that is Al Muderis, I feel like I had a responsibility. If I have to lose everything over that, so be it." In Al Muderis' failed defamation case against this masthead and 60 Minutes, his barrister, Sue Chrysanthu, SC, falsely claimed Hernandez was the primary source for the media outlet's investigation. She successfully opposed Hernandez giving evidence from prison via video link, preventing his testimony. Hernandez believes Al Muderis' ongoing pursuit of him has been designed to silence him and maintain a monopoly on the lucrative surgery in America. If you work for him, he owns you. His cult following will deny it, but they've never seen it, Hernandez said in an interview. Hernandez first approached Al Muderis with a business pitch in 2012, attracted by the surgeon's passion for osseointegration. Osseointegration technology is a life changer, and once amputees see the implant for themselves, they will do whatever it takes to obtain it, Hernandez wrote. The cigar-smoking, whiskey-drinking Las Vegas resident became an above-the-knee amputee in 1985 at 17 after he was crushed by a truck. Like many above-the-knee amputees, Hernandez always had trouble with traditional sockets that were uncomfortable and made it difficult to walk. In the early 2000s, he discovered osseointegration online and became transfixed by the novel procedure. For the right people, osseointegration alleviates the blisters and discomfort of traditional socket prosthetics and enables greater mobility. But it also carries immense risks, from worsening pain to infections and the need for further amputations. The federal court judgment ruled Al Muderis deliberately downplays or fails to explain risks to vulnerable patients and uses high-pressure sales tactics. Enthralled by the potential, Hernandez started a website dedicated to the procedure and tracked surgeons performing it globally. Unable to afford the surgery, in 2012, he emailed every osseointegration surgeon, asking for a free procedure in exchange for promotion. Al Muderis was the only one interested, and by March 2013, Hernandez was on a flight from Las Vegas to Sydney for the operation. The surgery was a success, though he experienced worsened pain and several infections. Hernandez held up his end of the bargain, giving glowing media interviews in America and promoting the procedure and Al Muderis through roadshows. What these patients did not know was that, for a period, Hernandez was paid cash commissions of $1,000 for each patient he sent Al Muderis' way. These commissions were detailed in a contract that included confidentiality and exclusivity clauses, forbidding patients from knowing Hernandez's advice was conflicted. Justice Wendy Abraham found this arrangement unethical, as it altered the advice Hernandez gave to prospective patients, many of whom considered him a friend. By 2018, Al Muderis stopped paying Hernandez's commissions, the tipping point behind a bitter falling out between the two. They parted ways, and Hernandez turned to social media to expose what he saw as unethical conduct by Al Muderis. Al Muderis responded by filing a defamation suit in the US, leading to a default judgment against Hernandez for $2.7 million due to poor legal representation. Surveillance by Al Muderis lawyers revealed asset shuffling, prompting a second lawsuit. On November 29, 2023, a Nevada court found Hernandez in contempt for non-payment, imposing an indefinite prison sentence. In jail, he was denied access to proper health care and was terrified of his osseointegrated leg becoming infected. He tripped and fell, putting him in a wheelchair while he awaited treatment. "I was constantly complaining and writing," he said, "trying to get somebody's attention to help me in there." Hernandez was due to give evidence in Al Muderis' failed defamation case about secret cash commissions, illegal US hotel room clinics, and bullying of staff. "I always saw Dr. Al Muderis' motivation as related more to status, and that Dr. Al Muderis wanted to be known as the king of osseointegration," Hernandez's affidavit stated. He did not end up testifying, but watched some of Al Muderis' cross-examination on YouTube, shaking his head at what he knew weren't truths. Under cross-examination, Al Muderis denied any knowledge of the cash commission paid to Hernandez. Justice Abraham ruled he made disingenuous attempts to distance himself from the arrangement and denied the obvious. Al Muderis' cross-examination in relation to the contract was not just evasive, it was false, she ruled, adding, "Given the evidence, it is apparent he denied it because it reflected adversely on him." Hernandez said that since his release in April, Al Muderis had continued to block his ability, through court orders, to work in osseointegration, an area he has spent 13 years building a career in. His family and friends launched a petition to raise funds for lawyers, titled "Help Amputee Advocate in Legal Battles for Whistleblowing." Justice Abraham found that it was clear Hernandez holds strong views against Al Muderis, but cited other messages in which Hernandez said, "It's all about the truth anyway." This story highlights patient advocacy, surgical ethics, and the perils of whistleblowing against powerful medical figures.